Alright, so today's review is for an AR10, which is, you guessed it, a flashlight. And you're like, shit. Because I look like the kind of bro that could handle a machine gun properly. Okay, if it's any consolation, it's got a magnet in the tail cap. No. How about it's a right angle light? You're like, fine, tell me about the Type 3 anodization, the orange peel reflector, the coated glass lens, that it's made from aluminum, and let me guess, it comes with a lanyard and has a cool white XML2 emitter. Hey, wait, how do you know all this? And you say, because it's a flashlight, bro. The AR10 is a multi-application flashlight, and not a machine gun, that you already mentioned includes a lanyard, a spare O-ring, a 2600 milliamp hour unprotected cell that looks like it's a rewrapped Samsung, a micro USB cable, a clip, and some plastic packaging. The thing that some people might find interesting about the light is that it's a great work light because of all the places you can mount it, if you're into that sort of thing. It operates just like any other light, or it can transform into a right angle light with mind control. Okay, I made the mind control part up. You're like, I know, it was a terrible joke. So you just use your hand, and if you're in your house late at night and need to shoot a flashlight video and pretend to work on stuff in your rental house, you can go ahead and do that. The magnet in the tail cap is pretty strong, so you can stick it to metallic surfaces for a variety of light shining in a certain direction applications. It has a charging port and the aforementioned included battery, so you only need a USB port and a charging brick, and everything else you need to shine light where the sun doesn't comes in the package. The included clip means it could be used on your backpack as a right angle light while pretending to hike around your backyard at night making YouTube videos. And while it would work great as a work light, I don't know if it would make the best right angle light on your backpack. You'd need a way to stabilize the base of the light to keep it from flopping around, like you kind of see here. Plus, if you want it facing forward, the mode button is facing toward you, between you and your flashlight, like by your chest, so you can't change modes easily without removing it. It might be best to relocate the button on future revisions, Klarus. Okay, so let's go over the mode outputs. You'll see my figures and Klarus's. You're like, I'll bet it has 4 modes and 2 strobes. And I'm like, hey, how do you know all this stuff? Well, it also doesn't have visible PWM on any of the modes. First is low, and a brief pause so you can look at the numbers. Then you have medium, doot doot doot. Then is high, and then is turbo. Then, of course, strobe, so you can have a club-like atmosphere while you work on appliances. And then there's always SOS, which signals to people you have no idea how to work on a dryer in your rental. Okay, so how does it operate? It has an electronic switch on the side with a charge indicator. Press it once to turn it on. Then single clicks to scroll through all 4 modes. It loops from high all the way down to low. Press and hold to turn it off. It remembers the last mode you were on when you turned it off last. It's called mode memory. You're like, that's what you've been talking about this whole time. And thank God, of course, there are some strobes. To access fast strobe, double click at any time from off or on. To exit strobe, just click again. If it was on when you went full strobe, you'll go back to the last mode you used. Now, if the light was off and you went into strobe, then it turns back off. To get to SOS strobe, you'll need to be in tactical strobe and then double click from there. Click it again. It operates just like the last strobe did. What about the runtime test? You're like, I didn't ask for one, but okay. Turbo looks like it has a thermal regulation built in early on. It bumps down and then kind of bumps back up. Then over the next hour and 45 minutes, it does a steady decline with mostly usable light. And after that, it bumps down to pretty low levels. The AR10 comes with an unprotected cell, like I mentioned earlier, but the light cuts the output as the cell gets down to the 2.5 mark, which is an acceptable safe voltage, but probably not a great voltage for the long-term health of a cell. Ending voltage was about 2.5 volts. I ended the test with a sub-lumen amount of light coming out at about 12 hours in, but I'll spare you the 12 full hours. Okay, now a beam shot section against a few other lights you may have seen me use in the past. Yes, it's recycled, and if you don't recognize it, well then hello, new subscriber. Or guy who left the room for a few minutes thinking it was a YouTube video about a gun and gets back to see its flashlight crap. The AR10 is first. It's not a throwy light, more like a close indoors everyday carry style light. Next is the Klarus AR10, which is more of a tactical, compact, throwier light. You're like, yeah, tactical. Because of its larger reflector and throwier emitter. It's got a cool white tint too. They're both close in tint though. Then next is the Nikkor EC4GT, which I just got done reviewing. It is much throwier than both the Klarus lights due to the big reflector, although it uses the same emitter as the XT11S. Yep, see the difference? Then we have the Nikkor MH20GT, which is another XPL highlight. The XPL highs are throwier emitters than XML2s because of the dome over the XML2 on the AR10. Now we have a Sunwayman D40A, which has a big orange peel reflector and a more neutral tint. It uses a Cree XML2 like the AR10, but in a different tint, and it's throwier. Then there's the shiny Kronos Astrolux X6, or whatever you want to call it now. It's a very throwy light too, as you can see at this longer distance. Anyway, then we have a super duper throwy light in the Acebeam T20, which kills all of them. Again, I'm putting lights like this in to give throw and lumens in context. And then why not the Meteor, which isn't throwy at all, but it's bright AF. All lights were set to their maximum output, and my estimated figures were on screen and not manufacturer's ratings. Hopefully the beam shots back those ratings up. If not, I'm a terrible reviewer. Alright, let's go over the dimensions real quick. It's a bit longer than a standard everyday carry light to account for the right angle slide feature. But as you can see, it tail stands well, and I'll keep talking while these shots bore you. This is a cool light to gift to someone who works on stuff and doesn't want to mess around with chargers, batteries, blah blah blah. It's flexible and a durable work light for a tool bag or just regular old tool bags. While it comes with an 18650 battery, it can still accept two CR123A batteries. And I actually tested protected and unprotected cells, longer and shorter 18650 style cells, and they all worked. So you can use pretty much any battery. I would recommend a protected battery, but hey, if you charge it when the light gets dim, then you should be good. Also, the button has a multicolor charge indicator or battery level indicator. When it turns red, that's telling you it's time to recharge it. Fool. And I'm a believer in using separate chargers, but I did use the built-in charger once. From 3.7 volts to fully charge at 4.2 volts. Took about 2 to 3 hours. I wasn't around for the whole thing, but that's about how long it took. Anyway, if you like this review, subscribe to my channel, give the video a thumbs up, and leave a comment. And by the way, how did you know so much about this light already? And you're like, because most people reviewed it like 6 months ago. Shit.